All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Calexico City Council, Calexico Redevelopment Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority, regular meeting agenda for Wednesday, February 19th, 2020, and it is approximately 5:32 in the evening. So, City Clerk, may we have roll call?
Mayor Hodge,
Here?
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Here.
Councilmember Arreola Fernandez, Councilmember Risen,
Here.
Councilmember Pacheco.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
All right, very good. It's nice to see everybody. All right, no public comments? No. Okay, we'll skip that for right now, and let's adjourn right now for closed session.
Not in your old voice there.
Let's begin. Welcome to the Calexico City Council, Calexico Redevelopment Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority for our regular session agenda on February 19th, 2020. City Clerk, roll call.
Mayor Hodge,
Here?
Mayor Pro Tem Romero,
Here.
Councilmember Arreola Fernandez. Here. Councilmember Risen. Here. Councilmember Pacheco.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll lead you on that. Hand over heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen. We have the mission statement and invocation.
Together, we pledge
To provide effective and efficient services in a courteous and respectful manner to improve the quality of life for all in our unique border community. Viva Calexico.
All right, Councilman Romero.
Vamos a hacer una pequeña oración. Disculpen que la vamos a hacer en español. Señor, te queremos dar las gracias esta tarde, Padre, de poder estar aquí enfrente, Señor, de toda, con tu ciudad, Padre. Y te pedimos que nos des la sabiduría, el amor y la paciencia para poder tomar las decisiones que se tienen que tomar el día de hoy para el beneficio de toda la gente y para también tu honra y tu gloria. En el nombre de Jesús te damos las gracias. Amén.
Amen. Now you may be seated. Thank you. And refer to our city attorney, closed session announcements. Mr. City Attorney?
Thank you, Mayor. City Councilman in closed session received direction, but no reportable actions were taken. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's have approval of the agenda. May I have a motion?
Motion to approve agenda.
Second. Second by Councilwoman Fernandez. Very good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. Now it's time for announcements. City Clerk?
These proceedings may be viewed on the City of Calexico website at www.calexico.ca.gov the Friday following the City Council meeting. Mayor Hodge will have community office hours to hear the concerns of the citizens the fourth Tuesday of the month from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at City Hall in the City Manager's Conference Room, 608 Heber Avenue, Calexico.
Thank you. Public comments or public appearances? City Clerk?
This is the time for the public to address the City Council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The mayor will recognize you when you come to the microphone. Please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. If the item you wish to comment on is a consent item, please comment now. City Council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. If the item you wish to comment on is on the public portion of the agenda, we will take your comment when we get to the item on the agenda. Please direct your questions and comments to the City Council.
Thank you. Let me, before we have public comments, remind you of some of the very important rules that allows us to have proper decorum and an efficient and orderly meeting. Remember that you must fill out the white sheet paper for public comments or during before public comments or during public comments. You have one turn, and I will not allow public comments once we move on to the next agenda item. all right? So please be aware of that, and you have 3 minutes to state your concerns. Remember, you can only address consent items during public comments. You can speak on agenda items for discussion and action when they come up. Remember also that during your public comments, city council members cannot engage or answer your questions. There is to be no dialogue between audience, person giving the public comment, and city council members. I will not allow any bantering or audience outburst. Thank you. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, moving right along.
Antonio Zavala.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Antonio Zavala. I represent Restructure Group, LLC, well known as RSG 3D. We are the manufacturers of this panel that basically consists on 2 layers of wire mesh and a core of EPS that you will cover with concrete on both sides and will be suitable for use building walls, intermediate floors, and roofs. The particular benefit of our product is that it's ICC approved. It's been recognized by ICC many years ago, like 30 years ago, and we have a manufacturing facility here in Mexicali, just outside of the border, for strategic conditions. Even when we were approved, like almost 30 years ago, we haven't conducted a proper advertisement exercise. And we have lately been reacquired by a Restructure Group company, which is a company based in New York City. And we are now having the promotion that we think we need. We have been submitting proposals or presentations to the building departments here in Imperial County, San Bernardino, Riverside, San Diego. And all the building departments have found our material really impressive because it provides structural performance, insulation performance, noise insulation, and also fire resistance. North Bay has awarded us with the top projects, as one of the top projects for North Bay in 2019, and NAHB has presented the award for global innovation for our panel. I would like to have the opportunity to speak before the council in a different session for presenting our panel, explaining what it is, how it works, how it's designed, and how it can benefit and change our lives here in Imperial County. It's highly, extremely energy efficient. We have submitted a couple of analyses through certified software, and we found that we can provide in certain conditions up to 38% of energy savings. So IID, we present this material to IID, and they agreed that we are suitable for being candidates of incentives for projects in this part of the country. So I would like to request that opportunity, and we can, arrange anything you will require, brochures and advertisement or presentation, projection. So, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next.
That is all, sir.
That's all? Okay. Once again, that's it for public comments. All right. Let's go to city council comments and reports of any meetings attended. Councilwoman Fernandez, anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Councilman Romero?
I don't have anything at the moment, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Councilman Risen?
I just want to say that we started the second phase of the gates and the alleys, which will be starting on Monday.
Very good.
So we think that it's going to keep our alleys nice and clean and odor-free, which is the pilot one that we have right now is working. So
That's a big plus.
so there'll be a big plus in that. Okay, that's all. That's all I have. Yeah.
Councilman Pacheco?
I'd like to report a sighting of a street sweeper in my neighborhood. So
Yeah.
I did see
Wow.
a sweet
That's like
Twice
big
per month, sir.
Hey, that, for me, that's great. We've got somebody working and sweeping our streets, and I'm sure the citizens approve of that. Passing by the park over here on where we had that fire and we lost the overhang, the shade.
Heber Park.
Heber Park. What's the deal there? And we had to cut the grass there. The grass looks a little.
Okay.
How high is the grass, Mama? It's 2 feet high and rising.
Okay.
Heber Park, and the shade for the kids, Mr. Dale, has that been ordered or where are we?
It takes funds, and I don't think we have them.
Okay, so we're waiting for additional funding.
Yep.
Okay, that's all I had.
Okay, I have no council comments.
You know what, Mr. Mayor? I
Yes,
forgot one
go
thing
right
talking
ahead.
about that.
Go
Sorry
right
about
ahead.
that. I just wanted to congratulate and mention Pioneers, our Pioneers Clinic here in
Yes.
Calexico on 98, and if I'm not mistaken, it's
10th.
10th. They did a ribbon cut today. They expanded their entire facilities to have more emergency services and clinical and medical services for everybody here in Calexico. If I'm not mistaken, it was around, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. City Manager, how much, 3 million? did
They spent
invest?
4 million.
4 million. So with that being said, expanding our Pioneers and on top of Mr. Vo's emergency clinic
3
out on
million.
Cole, it's been over 7 million that's been put into public safety and medical services for Calexico. And I just want to congratulate both of them, everybody, the staff in Pioneers and Dr. Vo's Medical Center and his entire staff.
Oh,
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
and
Thank you. Sorry.
just reminded me I do have something, so please bear with me. This has to do with SCAG and RENA, the California. Let me see if I can condense this in my own words. They're offering, HCD is offering 2 grants, administration. That's the LEAP program and the REAP program. The LEAP program is, well, both are appropriated to new one-time programs to provide regions and jurisdictions with grants for planning activities to enable jurisdictions to increase housing planning and accelerate housing production in order to meet the housing needs as determined by the 6th cycle Regional Housing Needs Assessment, RENA. And LEAP program is intended to provide funding directly to jurisdictions to support local planning efforts and process improvements to facilitate compliance and increased housing production. Some of the eligible uses of LEAP that will come through SCAG include education and outreach, rezoning strategies, environmental clearance, improving local ordinances and promote housing, and surplus sites development, and many more. And REAP actually overlaps with the same type of eligibility. So these are 2 important grants that I would like for us to look into and see if we can really benefit from them for housing. Thank you. All right, that concludes City Council comments. City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I'd like just to expound a little bit on Councilman Romero's comments. That yes, we had 7 million invested by these health centers recently, but my estimate is about 40 to 50 million this last year in infrastructure improvements in the city of Calexico that have been invested by private investors who feel confident in the direction that the city is going enough to invest millions of dollars. So congratulations to everybody involved in that. So thank you.
Good.
Just really quick, I'd like to let the council know a little bit about police departments been saving a little bit of money. We recently did an inventory on our radios and found out that there was a number of radios that were being unused and we were paying a monthly fee for, and we did go ahead and eliminate those radios to the tune of about $11,600 a year. And also SB 90, which allows the city to be reimbursed for expenses related to drunk driving tickets and those kind of things. We went ahead and applied for that money, and we're going to get about $12,000 on that one, and that's an annual money that will come in depending on how many stops and all those kind of things that we do. Also, because the council approved the recent franchise fee for towing companies, we received $3,000, and 5 companies paid that amount, so to the tune of $15,000 that we weren't expecting. That's going to be an annual fee. Thank you for Police Department for getting that going. I just wanted to let you know about that. And also, I think the chief wanted to inform the council about some interviews that you did.
Very good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chief. Welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Council, Mr. Mayor. I just want to inform you guys that that this Sunday, our HR department, I want to commend them. Can you, somebody please tell Denise to watch this? And Eva too, because it's one of those love-hate relationships that we have sometimes, but they came out on Sunday, on a 4-day weekend, to help us interview potential candidates for the police cadet program. We had 9 applicants. Out of the 9, 7 looked very promising, and we're going to move forward with them to try to get them to come on board. This should take, during the time that we do everything from, we already received, of course, the application, and we did the oral interview. The next step would be to do a polygraph exam as soon as they turn in their personal history statement. As soon as they pass their poly exam, we go on with the next phase. They'll start their background, and hopefully we get their background, everything done medical by the time they graduate from the academy, which will be June of this year. I do have enough field training officers to bring on 5 people at once, and I can actually bring up to 7 people. I have 7 field training officers if we had to. And that's our goal, to finish off the year and begin the year with at least 5 new officers. We do have a brand new officer that we hired 2 weeks ago. His name is Mr. Perdomo. He is working right now, so they were at a call. I wanted to present him, but I'll bring him to another city council meeting. So it looks like we're doing well. And that point, are trying to fill our positions. We're still going to be 8 vacancies short. That is, they're unfunded, but hopefully this next fiscal year we'll find a way to fund them. I am working on the new COPS grant that is due March 11th, and if we do get funding for that, they pay 75% of officer salary for 3 years. Wow. So with that said, this week went very well for us. They're all local people, which it's a good plus for us, because we know they'll stay at least minimum 5 years with us and not get hired on and be looking at going somewhere else. They know the culture, they know the area, so those are big benefits for us.
Chief, is there any way we can get another SRO to assist the one that we have? Because he leaves one site to go to another site and put up the fire there, and then he's got to go back to the original site, and then he's
So in the words of a wise man, Mr. Dale, the funding's not, not the funding's not there, it's just that we don't have the officers. Once I'm up to what I have, that's one of the positions I want to fill, because the school is willing to pay for that second position.
Yeah.
So once, like I said, once I'm up to filling my patrol needs, there was a time there where I was considering pulling them from the schools, because I have to provide the services to the citizens first, but I was going to shoot myself in the foot, because then we would still have to respond to the school to handle those calls. But Officer Hernandez does do a very good job, and whoever mirror his actions as a police officer, SRO, is going to have some big shoes to fill. It's a very demanding job at the schools.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
For overall the good news. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, just one
Mr.
more.
Figueroa.
Yeah, thank you.
I just want to inform the council and the public that tomorrow I will be attending the Solvency Authority meeting at the Coachella Valley District in the headquarters in Palm Desert. There's going to be one item.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, nothing.
Oh, okay. They're going to be talking about a very important item in which they're looking to begin to move on revising the minute order from the International Boundary and Water Commission, so the water quality standards of the new river can be revised.
Nice.
It's very important. It's just another piece of everything that we're doing. So I'll be attending their meeting tomorrow at 10 to express support and inform them of what we're doing down here in Calexico.
Okay, very good. Also, another feature of our agenda here, we have supervisors report today. Okay.
Super.
I think public comments are
Wanna
already
come
out of the
forward,
table, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Escobar, Supervisor Escobar.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't want to be placed on the spot, but so here for being late. Three quick agenda items for all of us. As most of you know, Phase 2A of the border is ready to rock and roll. We tried to get a meeting in January. In fact, I think it was December. We ended up getting a meeting with GSA tentatively scheduled for May of 2020. If Gabby can work with our clerk of the board, if it's okay with the council and city manager's office, maybe we can coordinate, maybe when they come to the county, they can also come to the city of Calexico.
Really appreciative.
For a briefing as well.
That would be good.
GSA is a little challenging to get a meeting for, so kind of kill two birds with one stone. On a good note as well, Phase 2B, which is pedestrian port of entry, is approved by the President's office, which is somewhat surprising, yet it's a very good sign. Now it needs to be approved by Congress.
Here.
So from a Congress perspective, what I'm going to ask what I'm going to ask the county to do, more than likely at the next meeting or two meetings from either, anyway, in the very, very near future, is for them to give or send a letter requesting support from Congressman Vargas, Senator Kamala Harris, and Senator Feinstein. I strongly encourage the city of Calexico to do the same thing, to make sure that we're on the map, and hopefully this doesn't get cut. The odds that this gets cut is very low, but if we get pressure from the city of Calexico as well as the county of Imperial, it's going to be even better for us. I have tentatively scheduled a meeting with CBP that we discussed a few meetings ago. That will be on either Thursday, March 19th, or Friday, March 20th at 11 a.m. at the council. I keep saying council, I apologize. I know I'm not here, I'm in the county. At the Board of Supervisors conference room, for lack of a better term. I will confirm the exact date. Again, they gave us multiple dates. We narrowed it down to two. I've invited the office of Congressman Vargas's office. I've invited Senator Ben Hueso. I've invited Assemblyman Eduardo Garcia. So it's going to be a pretty big group, along with anybody from the city of Calexico that would like to attend. Multiple items that we want to discuss, but at the end of the day, it's basically staffing and border wait times in general.
Great.
Last but not least, Eric Ortega was appointed to our Southern Border Committee as of yesterday, representing the ID. So we have a complete package when it comes to elected officials, City of Calexico, IID, school district, and the hospital district as well, along with yours truly. We should be getting off and running with that committee and the first meeting more than likely in a couple weeks. Just want to give you a heads up on that. I'm very excited about the meeting that we're going to have with CBP. Hopefully it will bring some sense of urgency to them as far as assisting us, the city of Calexico, in getting traffic through the port of entry. Obviously that assists the downtown area, that assists the pedestrians, that assists the vehicular traffic, and at the end of the day, anything that can assist us in moving people around a little bit quicker is better for us. So again, thank you, and I apologize for the late arrival.
No problem. Thank you,
Forgive me,
Supervisor
Mr.
Escobar.
Supervisor.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve consent agenda items 2 to 7?
Okay. Motion to approve consent agenda?
Second.
All right. Let's vote on it, please. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Motion passes. Now we are to discussion and potential action items. The budget calendar for the fiscal year 2020-21.
It's all right.
We'll be right with you.
We can get started. Good evening, council members,
Good evening.
community. I'm here to present our budget calendar for the fiscal year 2020-2021. So this is the schedule, and we will try to adhere to these dates. So we're starting our 2021 fiscal year. We're starting ahead of what we did last year. We're about 2-3 months ahead of how we started last year, and about 4 months ahead of what we did the prior year, which was my first year. So we started as of February 10th. February 10th, we started preparing our salaries and benefits, including internal service funds, with the rates, budget worksheets, and revenue projections. This is just internal document. This is not anything that we are ready to present to anybody. So again, this is internal, but we have already started as the finance department. We have started on our budget. Today, February 19th, we're presenting the budget calendar to City Council for your approval. As of March 4th, we will be presenting budget worksheets to the department, and we will start all the department head meetings with the not only department heads, but also their designees. For March 10th, we're planning on having a budget workshop with City Council and the Economic Development and Finance Advisory Committee. This will be the opportunity for council members, the commission, and the public in general to give suggestions or ask any questions that they might have on our process and some of the work that the finance department is doing as far as budget. For March 18th, narratives, that's the deadline for the narratives. That goes back to the departments. Each department is responsible for providing a narrative on their own department. We have ones, but they have not been updated in many years, so I think it's time to update narratives. For April 15, we're planning on presenting our audited financial statements, a third-quarter report, and hopefully a 5-year projection for not only revenues, expenses, but also capital projects, and publish a proposed budget. For May 6th, we're planning on presenting a proposed budget. And then the following weeks, which it's each week on a Wednesday, we're proposing to have budget hearings from the department heads to City Council. This will give each department the opportunity to present to you their wishes and what they plan to do with their department, and if they wish to add any services or any expenses to the department, this is their opportunity to present to you and get your approval. And if that is approved, then we will incorporate into our budget. We're proposing 3 budget hearings depending on how lengthy they are. I'm sure we don't want to be here until 10 o'clock at night every Wednesday. So depending on what we have and what the agenda is, we can either have 2 or 3 budget hearings with department heads. Being the last one, May 27th, and hopefully adopting a budget by June 3rd, which will incorporate the department's wishes that you have approved, and then we'll proceed to adopt our budget and then upload our new budget by July 1st. So we will try to adhere to this timeline, but if there's anything else that comes across or if there's anything else that needs to be added, we'll have plenty of time to include or maybe push back a little bit adopting our budget. Again, hopefully we don't have to do this, but if anything comes across, then we'll have plenty of time to do this. And with that, I'm finishing up my
Okay.
presentation. If there's anything you wish to ask, if you have any questions,
Council, any
comments.
comments or questions?
Mr. Dale, most of these are on a Wednesday, so these will be taking up, will be included in our regular session meetings then. It's not a separate date from city council.
One of them or 2 of them are
Well,
separate
only,
dates,
I think
if I'm not
the
mistaken.
March 10th would be a Tuesday. Every other one is
On a Wednesday?
It's on a Wednesday. So the idea is for us to have budget hearings, and since we're meet regularly on a Wednesday, that's what we would try to keep it. But again, if this does not work with your schedule, we can always, I mean, these are all pretty much special meetings, so we can always change it according to your schedule or department head's schedule. So
Councilman Pacheco, just to add a little more to your comment, the intention is to dedicate the time just on the budget.
Exactly.
Because as we know,
Yeah.
if-
I didn't
if-
want to get city council business involved
Exactly.
with budget. That's
the
why.
intent is to focus just to be on the budget.
Exactly. Which is good, This is a nice outline, and maybe.
Very thorough.
And we can, I like the setup, and it's given us more, a chance to hear what the department heads want to do with their budgets.
their budgets and and how they want to lead their department.
Director Lovatos, I know everything is in black and white, but not everything is set in stone. Do you really see any type of hiccups really happening from,
I don't foresee any hiccups
Okay.
happening. Again, we're
everything's
already
pretty much running
starting
smoothly,
doing-
right? Okay.
That is
So it'd be more of a scheduling conflict, maybe on our part, more than anything?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you,
And
Mr.
not so
Lovatos.
much on our end, but I mean, just trying to get, because it's ultimately our goal to have all of you involved and get your opinion and try to incorporate all of that within our budget.
Right.
So if it would not work with your schedule, we can always, it could be maybe the same week, maybe a different day of the week, but we would like to dedicate certain days just to talk about budget because of how lengthy this could be and how long it could go. We do not want to, as Mr. Pacheco mentioned, we do not want to take city business along
You don't
with
wanna mix
budget
it.
altogether, so. But again, this is, I mean, we won't try to adhere to these dates, but if it's not possible, we have room to move around the dates.
Okay.
This is
Anyone else from the council?
No.
I think this is a huge upgrade. We were unable to do it last year because of time restraints and so forth. So now this is going to give the public, the council, staff members, department heads a chance to weigh in on the budget. So this is a huge, huge thing. Thank you, Director Lobatos. Appreciate it. And also, I would like to thank her too because our audit will be on time this year, appears to be. So thank you.
Excellent.
Yes. Very good.
Right, and regards to the audit, I just wanted to update you. We have our auditors on site. They're doing field work right now, which means they're doing their selections, they're reviewing our documents. When they came in this past Tuesday, they were initially going to be here from Tuesday through Friday, the end of the day. And I had an update with the senior auditor, and he said that according to what he's seen, they're planning on leaving tomorrow, Thursday, a day ahead of time.
Great.
They will be coming back beginning of March just to finalize their audit, but Again, like Mr. Dell mentioned, we will probably have an audit on time, which is by March, the end of March. So, and so this is good progress.
Yes, it's very good news, and thank you for all your hard work and your staff. Any other from the council, then?
So we don't need to vote on, it's already,
Yeah, it's
This is
like-
informational only,
This-
Yeah.
yes.
it's just,
But do we have a public comment on this item? No? Okay, very good. Thank you, Mrs. Levantos. All right, moving on to item number 9. And it states, authorize city manager to sign change order number 1 with Aggregate Products Incorporated in the amount of $160,450.64 for street improvement project, asphalt rubber composite layer overlay on designated streets, project number 2019-400. Some background on this?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. First of all, I would like to thank our Public Works Department for an awesome job. This was designed in-house by our in-house engineering staff, and our Public Works manager oversaw the project, and we had in-house staff inspect the project, and it went really, really, really well. It was on time, it was on budget, and the public can, I think, see some improvements happening in the city of Calexico, a lot of improvements with the streets. So I just wanted to say thank you, and we do appreciate that. So I'll give it over to our Public Works Manager, Lily Fellner.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council Member. As Mr. Dale mentioned, the design phase was done in-house. There were some quantities that we required that came over and under. That's why I'm here before you to request that the City Council authorize the City Manager to sign just one change order of the whole project for $160,000, which is like 3% of the total amount, which was $5.2 million. The funding for this project is from the LTA bonds, so there is no general fund funding that went into this project.
Very good. Council members, any questions or concerns?
and you did do some revamping and change some streets here?
Yes, one of the additional streets that we had to do, because we received a lot of complaints, we overlaid Second Street between the Gran Plaza Circle all the way to the All-American Canal. We had received several complaints throughout the year that we needed to do something on that street, so we were able to add it this year to our 2019 street improvement.
Okay. I have a concern, if you can help me out here on information. I noticed there's one street that wasn't highlighted here, and that's Scaroni. It's in bad shape. Now, I know it doesn't get a whole lot of heavy traffic, but you take that street to enter into Calexico 10 theaters and Applebee's and the hotel. Any plans on improving that street?
We're right now working on our 2020 street improvements. Actually, our engineering tech just did the first phase of Scaroni Road, but between Highway 98 and Cole Road. We have some additional funding for that, but I'll go ahead and review the Scaroni Road between Cole Road to the canal and see if we can put it in our 2020 street
Appreciate that,
improvement.
thank you. Okay, do we have any public comments on this item?
No, sir.
All right. Councilman Bison?
Is Third Street involved in this? I'm trying to look it up here. On Third Street?
No.
No, we didn't do any type of work on this time around.
Some of those streets we can't get to because we have to do the water and sewer pipelines before we do the street improvements, is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, right now, actually, next week, we begin advertising certain streets in the Dual, Beach, Pauline. We have to, as Mr. Dale mentioned, do first the sewer, the water, and then we can do the street overlay.
Has the railroad crossing from Fifth Street been taken care of on Grant and?
No, we keep hearing from Union Pacific early 2020. Our construction management team has done an excellent job, and every week sending them an email. They just keep responding, we'll let you know, but that's about it. So we're just waiting on Union Pacific to come on over and do.
$69.99 power alignment.
Roshan, you were just reminding me.
Thank you. Yeah, it's, some people have informed me of it. It hasn't been fixed, and they do a cumbia every time they
Yes.
cross the railroad and hit Grant.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Very good. Is there a motion on this item?
Motion to, oh, go ahead, Mr. Pacheco.
Take a motion to accept item 9.
So moved.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion passes unanimously. All right, moving on to number 10. This is, subject is appointment of delegate member and alternate member to the Southern California Association of Governments, SCAG, Regional Conference and General Assembly, May 6th to 8th, 2020, in Palm Desert, California. I would like to speak on this. I feel, since I'm already on the RENA subcommittee, I would like your support. I'm asking to be considered as the primary member, the main delegate to go to this conference. I would hate to see that my participation would not be able to continue, especially with the work of RENA, which will be ending in October 2020. Anyone else?
I'd like to nominate Ms. Areola Fernandez to be the alternate.
Alternate?
Yes.
Okay. Do you all,
Be the alternate delegate.
the alternate? And
And
myself
yourself,
as
the primary.
Okay. All right. There is nomination. And so you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Mayor Hodge as the delegate member and Councilwoman Areola Fernandez as the alternate member to the Southern California Association of Governments Regional Conference and General Assembly, May 6th through 8th, 2020, in Palm Desert, California.
All right. Thank you very much. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. It's second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much for your support, Council.
Welcome, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, moving on to agenda item number 11. And this is in the hands of Mayor Pro Tem Romero. Appointment by Mayor Pro Tem Romero to the Personnel Commission. Sir?
Just a quick note before I appoint this gentleman. Wanted to be noted on public record that he has already taken the course. What is, City Clerk, what was the course? What's the course called? The course for, the course that was taken like a month ago for all commissioners.
Robert's Rules of Order.
There you go. He's already fully qualified for Robert's Rules of Order. And with that being said, I'd like to appoint to the Personnel Commission to Mr. Aram Herrera.
Okay, very good. And congratulations, sir. Moving on to item number 12. Appointment by Council Member Risen to the Personnel Commission.
I'm gonna wait till 2 weeks on that.
Okay, sir, very good. You have that privilege. Moving on to item number 13.
Appointment of the Arts and Historic Board, I'm gonna reappoint Maria Aceveda
Okay,
back to the commission.
okay, so appointment by Council Member Risen to the Library, Arts, and Historical Board. Congratulations. And believe it or not, that ends our meeting. Any future agenda items? Councilwoman Fernandez. Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Romero.
I would just like to bring back to the attention, I know it's been given a couple of times, I know we're in lack of dear funds, but today it just gave me a big black sore eye. If we can maybe, I don't know, Mrs. Falomir or Mr. Dale, see if we can start sending like the water, the sprinkler system on the canal front parkway. It just looks the canal, Canal Street, Canal Street, the little park in front of it.
The dirt.
It looks dirt like, yeah, the
dirt.
dirt in front of Canal Street.
Oh,
That used to
98.
be a nice and great, yeah, nice and beautiful lush of grass. And the reason I'm asking, I mean, Dollar General is right around the corner, and I heard other projects coming up soon in that part of the town. So I think it should,
Sprinkler system.
we should, yeah, on our
Yes.
part, try to make it look even,
We've had multiple discussions in our public works meetings and it's unfortunately in Caltrans right away, which means a long
okay,
encroachment
all right.
permit.
And duly noted. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Risen, future agenda items?
No, I have none at this point.
Councilmember Pacheco?
I'd like to formally invite our high school students that are playing basketball and volleyball and
Oh, yes.
soccer that have made leaps and bounds with either going to CIF and winning titles, and they're currently still playing. So if we can recognize boys and girls, basketball and maybe soccer, and not on the same day, but it's been a long time since we've won a championship in basketball. So
Both
it's,
of them won. Both girls and boys won.
so
the
we've come
championship.
a long ways in those areas. So it'd be nice to recognize them at a council meeting and hand out certificates.
Okay.
Yes, no?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
very good. I have one future agenda item. I'm very concerned about our parks, and I know most of us are. I would like to see for future agenda item, discussion and possible action on constructing a 5-year master action plan for our parks. Now, I know that we don't have a whole lot of money, but at least we could get this started. This would include preliminary assessments on the conditions of our parks, what specific improvements are needed for each individual park, and its estimated cost. Also, the budget cost of hiring one more park maintenance person. I understand that we may not be able to fix our parks this fiscal year, but at least we can have an action plan, a roadmap to implement once we turn the corner to fiscal solvency. So, like to focus on the parks. They're in dire need. At least like to know as an assessment what we need to work on in each individual park. Thank you very much.
Along those lines, Mr. Figueroa, if any new development is coming in, like we had in a proposal, we have to add an area for green area to make sure that they provide small little green areas for park, to either a small basketball court or something to have the kids go to. We're under.
So, we appreciate you bringing this up, council member. Mr. Velasco, our in-house planning consultant, and I have had conversations to make sure, as a matter of fact, with one project that was touched on at the last city council meeting, we've engaged with them on the city's recommendation to include green area. And we're looking at creative ways in which we can incorporate this element to other projects. I'll leave it at that, but your point is well taken. It's being considered on everything that we're looking into right now.
Yeah, we're way under. Thank you.
Chief, did you have a comment?
You know, I totally forgot to advise you guys that on Sunday, we got a phone call, one of our former chiefs, who was a great mentor to a lot of us, and a lot of people also that like him because he was really just kind of like Joe Friday, you know, the facts, nothing but the facts, but a great mentor. Myron Galchu, who was the chief of police during the 90s in Calexico, passed away. He was in his late 70s.
Wow.
They're having services for him, I believe, on March 3rd, and I do plan to attend and represent the city of
Okay.
Calexico.
Very sorry to hear that.
Also, our captain, Navarro, will you announce when his services will be?
All right,
Good evening, council and the citizens. Yeah, Captain Pete Navarro, who was the captain in our fire department for 34 years, I believe. He just recently passed. His services will be on February 24th, which is the viewing at St. Mary's in El Centro, and the 25th, beginning at 9 at St. Mary's also.
Well, thank you
Thank
for the
you.
information. Our prayers go out to their families. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second.
All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.